yogi friends. Today, let's go ahead and grab your yoga props if you have any. If you don't, it's okay. But we can use some blocks, straps, blankets. Always good to have on hand. So this could be household items. If you don't have a strap, you could use a scarf or a belt. Any blanket will do, really. Just don't want it to be too squishy. I'm going to take a blanket just to have a seat on. It just gives me a little more comfort, and it'll help elevate your sit bones and bring your pelvis into more of a neutral space, so you don't feel like you might be rounding or sitting back. You can sit up nice and tall and bring the knees out wide as comfortably for yourself as you can. If you ever have a problem with your knees popping up, just take blocks or something to stack underneath those knees to give yourself a little more support. All right, so sitting up nice and tall, lift the shoulders up and then bring them back and down. And we'll do that 2 more times. So lifting up, inhale. And exhale, rolling back and down. 1 more big sweep. And exhale all the way back. Just let your shoulders now relax into that back and down space. Not putting a lot of effort into it. Just let them relax down. Palms can rest, palms up or face down on your thighs. Closing your eyes, just getting connected with your breath for a few moments. So begin by taking your first big deep breath in through the nose, allowing your belly to rise, your ribs start to expand, and you just start to feel your breath and how it moves through the inside of your body. So as you breathe in, notice how your organs actually have to shift, and you have to make space in order for that breath to expand through the lungs and through the diaphragm. And as you exhale, let the breath just naturally flow out, and then add just a little more emphasis to that exhale by drawing in and up slightly through your ribs and through your abdominals. Find a sense of relaxation from the top of your head all the way down through your arms, your chest, your back, the belly, your hips, thighs, down the legs, and all the way to your toes. The tongue is just suspended in the mouth, feeling soft and relaxed. Starting a mental scan of your posture, and notice if your head is gently coming forward, or you may have started to round in your shoulders, and just lift back up as though there's a magnet at the top of your head. There's a magnet on the ceiling above you, and it's lifting you up without much effort. You feel your weight of your sit bones pressing down toward the earth. And the rib cage just gently drops down as the shoulders stay relaxed. Breath continuing to deepen. Letting the arms just drop down by your sides. Let the head fall over to one side with your next exhale. Inhale, gently coming back to center. Exhale, let the head fall. Just let gravity draw the head over. Not a lot of force or intention here. Just letting gravity pull the head. And then back to center. Inhale. Exhale, the head falls. You want to keep your fingertips just kind of plugged into the floor beside you and keeping your shoulders steady, trying not to shift the rest of your body, just the head. And taking your next breath in, exhale, pause. As your ear is over your shoulder, then turn the nose down and see if you could look downward, like you're looking toward that same side on that knee. So then coming back to center with your head and all the way up, head falls to the opposite side. And as the head falls, take that pause, relax the shoulders, turn the head slightly down, just looking to that side. And nose back to center. Inhale, bring the crown back to center, sitting tall. Hands just resting on the knees. Inhale, start to gently rock yourself forward. Bring the chest forward. Exhale, emphasizing the pulling back like a big cat stretch, rounding. Inhale, gently rocking forward. So there's mobility and movement in the spine here as it moves in and out. Not just moving your hips or shifting yourself forward and back rocking, but rather moving that spine deeper into the body and then pulling it back to the wall behind you. And as you do this, especially on the cat stretch portion right here, make sure that those shoulders aren't lifting up and shrugging. We want to make sure they stay nice and relaxed and you're just pushing between them. So one more here. Inhale and exhale, pulling back. Let's come back up. Take a pause. Sweeping both arms up, big reach up. Go ahead and interlace your fingers here. As you reach the palms up to the sky, then bring them forward right in front of the chest. So about even with your shoulders, slightly lower. And we're pushing out through the palms. Really draw the shoulders back and down, relax them down the back. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, feel like you're gonna push the wall in front of you with your hands, and you're gonna push the wall behind you with the muscles between the spine or between the shoulders, right where the spine is. So try to push your spine to the wall behind you. Pull the shoulder blades apart without shrugging. You're hollowing in the chest just a bit, but not lifting here, just pushing back. Pushing forward, pushing back, union of opposites. And now continue to drop those shoulder blades down as you slowly lift the arms back up. And this time with your exhale, pull your rib cage in a little deeper. And see if you can pull your arms back a little further. So I'll show you from this angle. Okay, so from here, instead of flaring out those ribs, I want you to pull the rib cage down and then see if you can pull your elbows back a little further. So biceps maybe back by your ears or as far as you can comfortably go. Take another breath and continue to try not to arch in your back, but do pull those shoulder blades down, and this will activate the arms pulling back further. And last breath, I want you to release the fingertips and bring them out to the sides. Take a moment here. Push the walls to the side of the room. And then point the fingers down. And without curling the fingers in towards your armpits, just keep them straight and flat and try to push out through your wrist. Now pulling back and see if you can pull the palm out or push the palm out to the sides. And then that top part of your hand, not just your fingers, but your actual hand there on the back of your hand, pull that toward your forearm. And we'll do that again. Relax your shoulders down. Just pull the palm down like you're moving the center of your palm toward the underside of your arm. And now pushing out one more time. And then pull it back. Now flip those palms to the front and then bring it around. Give yourself a big hug. Lift the elbows off the chest. Bring it down. Notice which arm is in front or on top. And then switch your arms. Open up and pull it around again. Big hug. Lift the elbows. Bring it down. Take the arms out. Left arm will sweep up. Right hand down. Just plant the hand first. Inhale. Get really tall like you're trying to reach something on the ceiling with your fingertips, and then exhale, gently start to reach over to the side without collapsing. It's an active reach. Come all the way back up. Inhale, just plant the left hand down, right arm reaches. Deep breath in. Get really tall without leaning first, and then exhale, just a gentle lean over to the side. So we'll do that a couple more times, just getting more length on your side waist. So inhale, reach up, exhale, starting to reach over to the side, soften the bottom elbow, bottom shoulder. And one more time, inhale, reach, exhale, over, and then back up to center. Take a moment, just switch the way the legs are crossed. Maybe shake them out in between. Take the opposite leg on top. Sitting up tall again. Inhale, lifting through the chest. Exhale, pulling back. into your cat stretch. 2 more here. Inhale, lift. Exhale, pressing back. Last one. And exhale. So from here, taking your left hand, bring it across. Right hand moves back. Turning gently into your seated twist. Take a breath, get tall. Try to even out both sides of your waist, and then take an exhale out, turning just a little deeper. Back around to center. Switching sides, inhale. Exhale, rotate. While you're here, get tall, get lifted. Even out the sides of the waist, and then exhale, rotating deeper. And back around to center. Very nice. Take the legs, sweep out the feet. Sitting up tall. Once again, if you're lifted up on a blanket like I am, you can move yourself slightly to the edge of it so that you feel your sit bones actually lifting up higher than your legs. So a little bit of lift here. And we're going to push out through the feet, sitting Dandasana, a little staff pose, deep breath, sit tall. Pull the rib cage down, get even taller, lift up through the crown of the head, push out through the feet without locking out those knees. You want to keep those heels on the floor. So one more breath here. And we'll bring the left knee up toward the chest. So once again, you may want to be elevated as you do this. So we'll bring the knee up, give it a little hug, and then just help it by holding on to the back of the leg here. I'm going to turn slightly on this one. All right, so you're going to bring that left knee up. I want you to hold it behind the knee. Try to stay lifted and tall. If you need support, put yourself against a wall here. But do try to stay lifted and use your core if you can. So we're going to kick that foot up toward the head and then bring it back down. Inhale, exhale, kicking it up. It's just a little joint freeing movement for that knee, starting to lubricate the joint. A couple more times. This is something that's great to do seated as well, seated on a chair, that is. So if you were ever seated in a chair, you just want to take some extra movements. Everything we've done so far could be done in a chair. Take one more. And we'll take that same leg. I want you to bring it back as far as you can. So just hold it here. Maybe hold on to the ankle or the bottom of your foot and pull it back like you're moving it towards your armpit. Really pull that leg back and then shift it forward. You can just hold on behind the leg, bring it back. If it's something that you can hold on to here, you can hold on to your ankle or your foot and continue to hold on the whole time, or use a strap. This is another reason it's nice to have that strap nearby. You can use a strap around your foot, do the same thing, or if you have the flexibility in the arm-leg length ratio that works for you, you can hold on to the foot or the big toe. We'll do 2 more. I want you to bring it back as far as you can. This is going to kind of mimic our deep, low little lizard lunge. Notice when that knee goes back, it would be like if you were in a lunge on the floor, just not quite as intense on the hip flexor for the opposite side. All right, bring that down. Bring the knee out to the side, sit up tall, and gently start to come forward toward the front foot. Now we'll do that a few times, so sit up nice and tall. Feel like you could kind of gently pull this right hip back and then come forward towards your front foot without lifting your chin. So keeping your chin slightly down, pointing out through the crown of your head. And taking one more time, inhale, exhale, coming forward. And then come back up. We'll switch sides, so just taking your left leg out, right knee pulls in. We hold on behind the leg to start. So sitting up tall, relax those shoulders back. You might find a slight lean back, but try not to round yourself back, okay? So kicking the foot up and bringing it down. You can hold on with one hand behind the leg. The other hand can help the leg up. Okay? And then just gently press it down. Inhale, lifting up, and exhale, bring it down. So just finding movement through the joints. That's why we started really slow, but we started from the tip of our head to our neck, to our shoulders. our back, our spine, and now moving down into the lower body. But just finding those movements of gentle kind of back and forth type movement that's not putting a lot of stress on the joint. It's going to help create more fluid in the joint and get you a little more loosened up. All right, so bring it back to center. Pause. Bring that knee over to the side as far as you can, and then shoot it back out straight. Bring it back as far as you can, and then shoot it back. So you're taking it to the side waist, like you could stick it under your armpit if you can go back further, and back out. Holding on the whole time somewhere behind the leg or along the ankle or the foot, if the flexibility allows for that kind of more bound position. Don't want to stress or strain other parts of the body, so if you're feeling discomfort of the low back, make sure you feel supported there. Okay, put yourself against a wall or another prop, piece of furniture. All right, take the last one, coming up right here. Knee goes back. Exhale, take it forward. And then we'll just bend that knee and drop the foot to the inside. Kind of pull yourself around just a little bit so you're a little more square through the hips. Inhale. Exhale, coming forward, leading with your chest, and you've got a nice long line through the back of your head so that you're not dropping down, rounding. Come back up, inhale. Exhale, coming forward, hinging from the hip. 2 more times, just dynamic movement. That's why we're not actually holding a long stretch here. Right now, we're just moving dynamically, creating more fluid and creating more mobility through the body. Come back up. And then release. Bring both feet together, sitting tall, Baddha Konasana. Deep breath in. Exhale, coming forward. Let's take that same approach here just a few times, moving forward and back. Coming forward. And 2 more times. Inhale. You can hold on to your feet or your ankles. Kind of help to draw yourself forward. Your elbows can reach out along your thighs or your knees here to help press them open if you prefer. And then back to center. And now coming all the way over onto hands and knees. Grab blocks if you have them. We'll set them at the top of the mat. If you also tend to like to have additional comfort of a bolster nearby, you can take that. Or any other household props, blankets, pillows. It's always about finding your own comfort level. All right, so now finding your tabletop position. We'll go back into that cat-cow, just letting the spine fall, shoulders rolling back. And then exhale, rounding up, hollowing out. Inhale, gently falling. Just gazing forward. Exhale, rounding. So think of a rainbow that you're drawing from the tip of your head to your tailbone. And your rainbow turns upside down in the dog phase or the dog tilt or cow. And then in your rainbow flips itself back over when you move into your cat stretch. So inhale with the arch. Exhale with an arc. 2 more times. Inhale. And exhale. Last one here. And then bring it back to center. So taking your left leg, reaching it back, lift up, reach the right arm forward. Your gaze should be forward somewhere along your mat just to help you focus and stay balanced. As you breathe in, reach it out. As you exhale, draw knee and elbow towards each other underneath you. Okay, so inhale, reach, exhale, moving into this little kind of crunch here. Inhale, reach it out. Exhale and pull it in. Okay, good. 3 more. Inhale. Exhale. 2. Find your breath and your rhythm. Last one. And bring it back to center. Take the knees wide, just shift back to a child's pose for a moment. Maybe go back and forth a few times. Again, just kind of staying in the mindset of that dynamic movement. You can stay back there as long as you like, or you could shift it forward and back a few times. Reach it out big. Just take whatever movements feel good and fluid for you. All right, now taking the opposite leg, right leg goes back, and we're going to take the left arm, reach it forward. So inhale, hold it here, pull up through the belly, pull up through your rib cage especially. Exhale, draw knee and elbow to each other. Inhale, take it out without collapsing through the spine or the abdominals. Exhale, bring it in. If you can place some weight to the top of the back foot, or even if your toes are turned under, the foot that's along the floor will help you stay stable as well. Inhale. Exhale. 3 more. 2. Find your breath. 1 more time. Good job. And now release it. Bring the hand down. Knee back to the floor. Shifting yourself back into child's pose. Reach the hands out. If you need a break for your wrist, spin them around a few times. And then come back to center. Toes turning under, ready for down dog. So we're going to lift the knees and press it up and back through the hips. You can move, if you have a blanket, you can move that to the side. You may want it again, but I'm going to take it out for now. Inhale, coming forward, find a plank. So you may have to reposition your feet and your hands just a little bit. So shoulders are stacked over wrist, toes turned under. You could drop your knees to the floor or stay in a solid full plank as we move to the floor. Elbows in by the sides. Inhale, lift the chest, plant the feet, not a big lift. And then exhale, bring it down. Inhale, pushing up. Exhale, pressing back into down dog. Let's try that again. Inhale, coming forward. Knees can go down or stay lifted. Elbows squeeze in. Shoulders relax back. Uncurl the toes. Lift the chest into cobra. And back down. 1 more round. Inhale, lift. Exhale, press back. Inhale, coming forward. Lowering to the floor. Inhale, lift into cobra. Exhale, come down, lifting. Exhale, press back. And then making your way to the top of the mat into a forward fold. So just take a little ragdoll forward fold to start, meaning that we'll just bend those knees, take opposite hand to elbow, and then just shift yourself around very gently, just swaying. As you come back to center, take either the fingertips to the floor or blocks if the hands don't quite reach, okay, or feel comfortable. Because I'd like for you to be able to stay here for just a moment. So keeping your heels on the floor, straighten the right leg, bend the left knee. And then we'll switch sides. So straighten left leg, bend the right knee. So you're just bending, alternating knees. Make sure you walk yourself forward just a little bit so that you're not, when you straighten that leg, your sit bone's not tracking way past your heel. Meaning if I had my hands too close to my hands or too close to my feet, this angle is going to happen here. And I want to keep that sit bone more in line with that heel when the leg straightens. Okay, so not locking the knees, just straightening gently. Take a couple more. And then just leave your blocks if you've got them. Just leave them in front of you. Let your head fall, chest fall. Slide the hands up the knees up the shins to the knees. Come up, unhinging from the hips. And coming all the way up to standing. As you inhale at the top, sweep the arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Lifting halfway up. And then exhale, coming down. Inhale, sweep all the way up. Once again, we'll just continue to move with each breath. Sweeping, inhale. Exhale, folding, hinging from the hips, lifting halfway. Exhale down. Inhale, sweeping up. Hands to center, exhale. One more round, half salutation, inhale up. Exhale, fold. Lifting halfway. Exhale, if you have blocks, you could take hands to blocks or hands to floor. Send your left leg back. Dropping the knee, cushion if you'd like. Just sweep the arms up and bring it back down. We're going to take hands to the blocks or fingertips to the floor. Just lift the back knee, shift the hips back. So we're moving into a big pyramid. Now come forward again, drop the back knee. Watch the front knee, not moving past the heel. Sweep up, bring it down, and shift back. Try to straighten the legs as much as you can, keeping your hips square. One more time, dropping the hips, lift the chest, gaze moves up. Exhale, lift the back leg, press back. And now pause as you come forward with a little bend in the front knee. Keep the back leg elevated. Move your right hand along the inside. And we're just going to walk around a bit here. Okay? So as you walk around, keeping your toes pointing now to the long edge of your mat, facing the side. We're going to shift forward or side to side. Just staying bent on the one side and then straightening on the other. You can take your blocks wide or move them with you. Just move your hands, walk your hands, or if I take my hands fairly wide, I don't have to really move them much. Right now, I'm keeping the feet attached, so pinky toe side is also attached to the floor. And moving those hips side to side, trying to keep your chest somewhat elevated. And moving your hips behind your knee line. So let's take one more. We'll end on that left knee, bent again, and then spin yourself back around to the top of your mat, moving all the way back around, keeping your left hand on a block or the floor. Drop your left knee, and then just spin your chest around to the right side, opening up into a twist. Bring it back down, and then move your blocks out of the way. We'll send that right foot back to meet the left. Finding your plank, lowering down through chaturanga, and then up through cobra, or even up dog if you're feeling a little more powerful this morning, or whenever this finds you. Bring it down, back up, pressing back. Come back to center, walk yourself forward, and back to the top of your mat. Sweeping all the way up, hands moving down through the center. And we'll do that on the other side, but because we're going to do that on the other side, I'm going to switch my orientation. So give me just a second so I don't have my back to you. Inhale, sweeping up. And then exhale, coming forward. Lifting up halfway. Go ahead, step your right foot back. Find a big, nice lunge here. Move those blocks back with you. Dropping your right knee down. Watch that front knee, heel alignment. Sweep the arms up. And then exhale, bring it down. Shifting back into that pyramid pose. Really big, wide pyramid. Try to drop your back heels close to the floor as you can. Come forward, lift. Inhale into crescent. Exhale, pressing back into pyramid. And then one more time here. Inhale, dropping the knee down, reach up. Exhale, pressing back. And then come forward slightly, keep the back knee elevated. And we'll start to spin it around to the long edge again. Just spinning your heel down, drop it. Turn the toes, and now shifting side to side. The toes can slide, turn out just slightly. Just find the right alignment for yourself here, but do try to keep the feet planted. Again, if your blocks are nice and wide, you might just be able to keep your hands on the blocks to shift. or walk them with you. Keep the chest lifted as much as you can. Drop the hips down. Deep breath. Very nice. Let's try 2 more. We'll end on the right side. Sitting back. And we go back over to the right last time. And then start to spin yourself all the way around, back into that high lunge. Drop the knee down. Right hand stays planted. Left arm reaching up into twists, turning. Come back all the way around to center. Move your blocks and step your left foot back to meet the right into plank. Lowering down through chaturanga and bring it up into cobra or up dog. Back down, inhale, push up through your chaturanga and then back up to plank. All the way back into down dog. Take a moment. Take an option here to stay in down dog or drop your knees, finding a nice big wide knee child's pose. Take a few rounds of breath wherever you want to find your particular resting space. And then when you're ready, we'll come on back. We'll bring that right leg, let's come all the way back into down dog first. Let's meet there. Taking your right leg up, go ahead and bend that knee. Lift the knee up as high as you can. Flip it open. Straighten it out. And then bend it again. So we'll just pump it a few times. Try to place weight in your right hand as well. Come back to center. Square out the hips. Sweep your right knee forward and try to place it back behind your right hand. So we're going to move into that little pigeon prep position or one leg king pigeon pose. So we're moving that left foot all the way back. So I like to shift back on the toes a few times just to get myself back. And watching that front knee so that it's kind of out to the side a little bit, getting a little deeper stretch here. And notice from this angle, you can see my left leg is way out to the left. So if you'll take a little look behind you, look over to your left side, and just notice, did the left leg land way to the left side of your mat? And just try to move it more into the center line, like a tail. And then we're going to drop that left hip toward right heel. Cushion up your right hip if you need extra elevation. Walk it down, finding whatever is the most comfortable space for you to land in for a moment. So ideally, we'll have a little pressure on the forehead just to kind of get that little release from our trigger point right there at the center of your head, third eye space. So you can do that with your palms, even if your head is not all the way to the floor. You could prop a block under it or just rest your head down toward the floor or your hands. I want you to just stay here for a few rounds of breath. And with each exhale, imagine that the tissue could become a little softer, the muscle could get a little longer, and that you could make a little more space within the joint itself. So from here, we're going to be lifting up. We'll take one additional little movement as we come up. Could get a little tricky, but we're going to work on this together. So if you have your blanket, I'm going to suggest taking that blanket, if you have it, and it's rolled up a little bit with some height. I'm going to flip over so you can see. All right, we're going to scoot that underneath your right hip. Okay. And then you'll lean back onto it from your pigeon, and you'll lean back and sweep the other leg around. Okay. So now you're seated up on your blanket, and we're just going to sweep that other leg around. So now sitting with what's kind of shoelace pose or cow face legs, sitting up nice and tall. Try to stack the knees as much as possible. If they don't stack, it's okay. And we're just gonna lean forward a bit, really digging into those hips and that back, low back space. So come forward as much as you comfortably can. You can always place props up high again. It could be blocks elevated with your hands, whatever feels better, or a blanket or a pillow even in front of you to hug can be very nice here. Let's take 3 more rounds of breath. Try to relax your shoulders. It's okay to have a little rounding in this one. Starting to walk yourself back up, we'll just unwind basically the way we came into it. So just lean over to your right, sweep the left leg back, finding yourself in something like a pigeon, and then just lift up, scoot your blanket to the other side so it's ready. Shooting that right leg back, give it a little shake out. Turning toes under, lifting up and pressing back again. Take any movements that you like here after your pigeon. And we'll get ready for the second side. So lifting your left leg up, bend the knee. Try to lift the knee and flip it open, keeping weight in your left hand as well. Now just straightening and bending a few times here. Bend the knee, flip yourself back to center and drive that knee up to the outside of your left wrist, left side of your mat. And we'll just start to kind of walk your way back again by turning the toes under on the right foot. If this heel or if this hip doesn't quite reach the floor, it's okay, right? And even if you're way up here, it's fine. Take a blanket, take a block, take something that you can wedge underneath. You're not going to lean into it, but just rather prop under it. And then start to bring yourself forward as you're ready. So you can rest on a blanket, you can rest on blocks, you can rest on your elbows, or all the way down. Uncurl that back leg. Again, if you didn't already check out your back leg, you could always take a little moment to turn, look, bring it more into center. Take 2 more rounds of breath, and with each exhale, once again, just try to imagine you're getting softer through the tissue, longer through the muscles, and more space in the joint. And beginning to lift yourself up, we'll go back into that little kind of cow face leg position or seated shoelace. I want you to bring that left hip up onto a blanket or something propped. If you don't have anything, you just sit flat on the floor, it's fine. I just find it more comfortable this way. So we're gonna lean over and then sweep that right leg around, make adjustments as needed, of course. So now just stacking the knees again as much as possible. Try to bring your heels out away from your hips if you can. We're sitting up tall, deep breath. Exhale, coming forward. You can move in and out a few times. And then eventually you may just land where you are and rest there for a few breaths. Taking last couple rounds of breath here. Beginning to walk yourself back up. Just lean back a bit this time and we'll shake it out. So bring the legs forward and shake them out. If you're seated still on a blanket, that's fine. You can stay there. We're going to just relax back a little bit. Bring the feet in front and let the knees sway side to side. And we'll just come back to all the way up to seated upright. Once again, if you still have that blanket, perfect. Just stay on it like you did when you first arrived here. Sitting up tall, take a little twist from side to side. And then back to center. Let the hands rest on the thighs, eyes closed. Palms can be, again, just like when you started, face down or face up. So just tying both ends together of this practice, ending the way we began. Once again, taking a mental scan of your body, noticing where your posture is, if your head is forward, if your shoulders are rounded. And try to lift up as though there's a magnet at the top of your head. The shoulders are relaxed, sit bones are heavy. Notice how you feel from the first time that you arrived here. Maybe there's more sensation through the skin, the nervous system. Maybe there's more sense of calm through the body or the mind. As you allow the last few moments here, just finding a moment of appreciation for this practice today, for your ability to be here on the mat, and for your willingness to show up. So as you sweep the arms overhead, palms meeting at center, bring the hands down right to the heart. Take a moment just bowing to your own inner wisdom. Thank you for showing up today and being here for yourself so that you can show up for others. Namaste.